Hello, ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome to 24K movies, TV shows, and video game reviews. My viewpoints are never bought or paid for, nor are they sponsored, though if you'd like to, you can send in money. I will gladly accept it. Now, having said that, it does not influence my opinion. It does not change the way I feel about either your movie, my movie, their movie, his movie, her movie, their movie. I always give it to you guys straight. If I like it, you're gonna know. If I don't like it, you're gonna know. If it's great, you're gonna know. If it's shit, you're gonna know. We base it on the rating of metal scales, fine and precious metals. Anything as horrible as rusted metal at the bottom of a scum swamp to double, triple platinum. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I want you to sit back, relax with your favorite bag of snacks, and get ready for these game tracks. Because I'm the Game Ninja, this is 24K, and this is what we do. So today, I want to actually talk about an older film. It was called Leon across the pond and overseas. But in America, it was called The Professional. Don't know what I'm talking about? This is the picture. Movie stars Jean Reno and a very young Natalie Portman. The story is rather complex, but there are some talking points. There's some good, bad, ugly, and maybe a tiny bit of cringe. The cringe comes from the part of whether or not you can accept their relationship. He cares for her to take care of her like a daughter. She thinks she's falling in love with him, which at the time, her being the age she was, him being the age he was, it can easily be a horrible talking point and a little bit of a turnoff for some people. But if you were able to stick around, that is not the focal point of the movie. That is not even something that's sussed out. That's not something that's even brought into the light. Basically, before I unpack what happens, I'll show you a trailer, and then I'll come back and unpack it. I normally do that a lot, and I normally get kicked in the teeth for it a lot, but it helps me express and refresh in your mind. If you've seen this movie, if you turn through it, or if you've never seen it, it may spark something inside of you. Now, you may be asking, why the rain sword? Why the sword of rain? Well, because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today's movie reviews, TV show reviews, and video game reviews will be dedicated to the late, great Peter Kwong. You may have seen him in such films as The Golden Child. He was Tommy Tong. He was Rain in Big Trouble in Little China. Or if you saw John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. He was a great actor, very nice looking guy. And he just did a con, believe it or not too long ago. But sadly, he did pass away. So if you wonder why the Rain Sword is here, it is to celebrate Rain, our fallen soldier, compat, and a great actor. So ladies and gentlemen, today's movies, reviews, and gameplays will be dedicated to the late, great Peter Kwong. So let's jump into the trailer. We'll come back and I'll unpack it for you, and we'll go from there. All right, don't move.
Still business. This guy comes to town every Tuesday. Are you free Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm free Tuesday.
You can't stop what you can't see.
This guy came from the outside. There was a problem. He was fast.
In the art of the kill, Leon was the master.
Somebody's coming up. Somebody's serious.
He never missed a hit. He never got caught.
You're indestructible, bullets fly above you. You played with them.
And above all else, he never had a reason to care. Until now.
I like these calm little moments before the storm.
Gary
My
Oldman.
family was shut down by DEA officers.
3 kids here. One of them is missing. Find her.
Please open the door. Please.
From the director of La Femme Nikita.
If you don't help me, I'll die tonight. I can feel.
An innocent girl with no one else to turn to.
What exactly do you do for a living?
Cleaner.
You mean you're a hitman? Cool.
A perfect assassin.
I need you to help me, Leon. I'm gonna get those dirtbags who killed my brother.
With someone to finally believe in.
Change ain't good. Remember that.
Danny
I
Aiello.
will.
They're about to come face to face with the cop who's crossed the line.
Bring me everyone. You mean everyone?
Everyone. All right, we're back. My jaw's kind of sore because I know you're going to kick me in the teeth with that when it comes to copyright strikes. I just wish we could get back to the days of older YouTube where you're able to review something, talk about something, and suggest something for the purposes of entertainment. Oh, anyway, that's neither here nor there. So that was the Professional trailer. I forgot to mention when I said Jean Reno and Natalie Portman that Danny Aiello and Gary Oldman is also in this. Gary Oldman, oh my God. From Harry Potter to The Fifth Element to The Professional, I can't think of one thing that I've seen Gary Oldman in that I really didn't like him, and he didn't kill it. Like, he is an amazing actor. He plays the bad guy in this movie. Well, badder guy, because Leon is a contract killer. He's not exactly the greatest guy in the world. He kills people. But Gary Oldman plays a cop. So let's start with the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly I already got out the way because she is an underage child. She thinks she's falling in love with him because he saved her life when her family was assassinated by this evil cop. He could have kept his door closed, in which case he would have basically consigned her to her own death. But he did not do it. He opened the door and invited her in because he had asked her to pick up some groceries for... Well, she had offered to pick up groceries for him, and he didn't want to go to the store. During that time, her entire family was taken out by Gary Oldman and his band of goons. And as she walked by the apartment, I give Natalie Portman a lot of credit as such a young actress in this movie because a lot of this movie is purveyed on her expressions and her face. So a lot of the time, the camera is just right up to her face, and what she purveys is what you're supposed to get literally around the room. So as she walks up the stairs and walks by her apartment, because these guys are also police officers. That's right. I know. Evil and police officers. What are the chances? Anyway, as she walks by her apartment, she sees her father laying in the floor. She sees her mother, and she hears them talking about her little brother being taken out, and like, why did you shoot the little kid? And she walks by without breaking down and knocks on the door and presses the button, and he's looking through the door and he knows what happens, and he's fighting with the urge to not open the door because he doesn't want to be involved. He has a lot to lose, and the profession that he's in will not allow him such luxuries to care for other people. He's lonely, he's solitude. This is how he works, this is how he operates, this is who he is, and this is why he is the way he is. To his detriment, bringing somebody else into his life will almost certainly get him killed, which, poetically enough, it does. But he decides against better judgment to open the door when he sees her crying through the peephole. Him inviting her in saves her life, and he is undertaken now by, he wants her to, you know, she's not his responsibility. He wants her to move on and go on, and she has nobody because everybody she knows was taken out. So she's such a, how can I put this without being too bad? She was already in an abusive environment. She was physically abused by her mother and father. But her brother, her little brother, was her world. It's who she protected. It's who she took care of. That's the main reason why she's so hurt. She's not hurt over the mother and father. She's hurt over her brother. That's what she expresses to Leon. He was innocent. He didn't do anything. Why did they, take him out? And Leon is from a point where he's just like, I don't care. Look, you can stay tonight, but when I bounce in the morning, you're gone. Like, we go our separate ways. I helped you out. What else do you want from me? I saved your life right now. What else do you want from me? So she figures out pretty quick that he is a cleaner for a living and takes people out. So she wants to hire him to take out the people who took out her family. And he doesn't want nothing to do with her or the situation because he knows where it's going to lead. So he has a conversation for her directly, like, you can't do that. You can't be with me. I'm not a good person. This is not a good idea. If you want to go clean them yourself. And he puts a gun on the table. And in those terms, he tells her, if you want to clean them, then go clean them yourself. Because he thinks she's angry and upset, but he doesn't have any idea how far she's been pushed to the opposite side. So he tries to explain to her how hard it is to take a life. And in one scene, a brilliant scene, actually like operatic and poetic, she picks up the gun he puts on the table and points it out the window and just pow, 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 empties the clip, puts it down on the table and says, like that? And he's like, what the hell just happened? So he has to move now because what she did will almost certainly draw attention to him, his situation, and their livelihood. So as he's walking down the street, he tells her, don't do that again. Like, that's sloppy. That's stupid. I don't work that way. So the two of them kind of develop a relationship, and he decides to take her on as a client and help clean the people who took out her family. And as he decides also to teach her how to be strong so that once he's gone and leaves her life, she can remain strong. He introduces her to a few people. He introduces her to her life. He gets her started so that once their deal is done, he can walk away clean. He still thinks he can walk away clean, but he's already started the threads of a relationship that he can't walk away from. And he tries to hide it from himself because he's a cold, calculated professional. This is what he does for a living. But she breaks down the walls of who he was so that he starts seeing himself as a person again, as a man, as somebody who has hopes, aspirations, dreams, and does have emotions. And he starts to find himself loving her, which he's never really done before, and he doesn't want to do, so he fights it at all costs. He even, the first night she spends with him, he walks up to her bed and thinks about putting a bullet in her head. He even pulls the gun out and puts it there, but he doesn't pull the trigger because he can't. There's something about her he can't get rid of. And their relationship bonds as they find the people one by one who dispatched their family, ultimately finding out that they're a bad group of cops. And the leader, Gary Oldman, who is just, he is just absolutely insane, but his method of acting is so brilliant that the insanity makes him the forefront of this movie. He is the bad guy. He is the antithesis, and you do not want to like him. But yet and still, he is so magnetic on the screen. His actions, his eccentricities, you can't help but to like him. And that's horrible because he's the bad guy. There's a scene that when he takes people out, he has these pills that he shakes it. Everything is like, it's like a dramatization. It's like watching opera. He shakes the pill, He pops it in the back of his mouth. He turns his head and he cracks the pill while he cracks his neck at the same time and goes into this euphoric, crazy place as he leans forward. And then he has moments of just extreme craziness. He's a brilliant actor. Gary Oldman, oh my God, you're a brilliant actor. This is one of the main movies that I saw you in that made me fall in love with you as an actor. You are phenomenal, sir. And as the movie comes to a climax, I know, and I'm sorry guys, it's late in the video, but you know what I do on my channel. Spoiler alert. If you don't know, now you know. We do spoilers, and this movie's been out for decades. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sorry to spoil some things in it, but it is what it is. And if you want to see it, I would say turn away, but you want to hear some of these parts because that's the more intriguing aspect of the movie. And I'm sorry again, but it is what it is. So as the climax of the story comes to a huge heel, the Gary Oldman character figures out somebody who's professional is helping this girl, because he knows he's looking for the girl, because he finds out there was a girl along with the little boy in the apartment. So they figure it's her, and somehow she's hired someone to take him on. So as he's on to them, they're on to him, and it's a cat and mouse little thing, which finally culminates in this final climax of action. And I don't want to say it's confuddled, but you can't do nothing but close your mouth and watch as the series of events unfold at the end of this movie, because there are some major things happening that you have to resound yourself to, which is hard to swallow. Number one, at a certain point, Jean Reno, the professional, Leon, he knows this will ultimately take his life. He gets to a point where he realizes who this guy is, how connected he is, and he realizes that this may ultimately cost him his life. And he's even told this by the man who hires him, his boss, his proxy. He tells them, like, leave this girl, ditch her, go back to what you're doing. Like, you haven't pulled a job since you met her. You're changing. Like, she's gonna get you killed. Like, she's your vulnerability. And he understands that. But on the same token, he wants that vulnerability now in his life. He realizes what he's missing. He can't sit down and have a child and have a family and a relationship. The way she entered his life was less than optimal, but they end up bonding to the point where they have this relationship. There's definitely love there. He's the only person in the world she trusts and has, and he is the only person who can look to her because he doesn't have any magnet, any gravity in his life. So the magnet in his life, literally, that makes his life worth living, where he doesn't have to sit in the dark all night in a chair with a loaded gun waiting for somebody to come for him, is her. He realizes he's not dying every day. He has something to live for. And he realizes the price for this is going to be his life. But if he can balance the equation and make her safe, that's all he wants at that point. He wants to balance her life. He has a way of setting her up and taking care of her so that she will be okay after this job is done. Because he realizes at a certain point that this job, it ends with him. It ends. And at the end of the movie, there are 4 plots set into motion all at the same time. How her story turns out, Natalie Portman, Matilda. How Leon's story ultimately comes to an end. How Gary Oldman's story comes to an end. Danny Aiello's part, how he feeds into the situation. And how literally the story will progress at the end. Now, I do like the fact that they didn't sequelize this and make her, like, I wanted the sequel, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of movies that I would like a sequel to. This is one of the movies where I would like to see what happened to her when she grew up and what she became. Like, it's almost as if she was Uma Thurman's role in Kill Bill. Like, that's who she grew up to be. Like, that's the type of person you would expect her to grow up to be. But at the end of the movie, he takes out all of Gary Oldman's bad guys who are hiding amongst good guys, which is just a total catastrophe. But the action, The excitement is absolutely amazing. But when we get down to the end of it, Leon dresses as one of the police officers so that he can escape the building. He's injured, he's hurt, but he sees a way out. And he finds a way out through like a basement area, and he's walking out. And it's just the way the cinematography and the camera changes angle from you seeing Leon to you looking through his eyes and walking, that you realize this is it. This is definitely it. And then they show you Gary Oldman, who looks behind him and realizes this is the guy, because everybody else is coming in. He's the only one leaving. And Gary Oldman sneaks up behind him, and they don't show it because they don't need to, because from your point of view, they put you into Leon's eyes. So as he's walking, he sees literal escape feet in front of him. The open city, the open area. If he makes it to that point, nothing's going to happen to him. And as he's walking, you see a flash of light. And then you see the camera collapse down to the ground. And you know instantly what happened. And this is the point where if it was a newer movie, they would suck for this because they would just leave it at that. But I'm so glad it was made during a time and in a place across the pond where people are more capable directors, producers, and cinematography people. So as he turns over, you can see the blood rushing from the back of his neck. Clearly he was shot in the head, but for some reason he didn't die instantly. Gary Oldman leans over and looks at him, and he's like smug and happy with himself because he's like, I've put down the threat, like I got you. But Leon anticipated not making out. He actually planned on not making it out alive. And in his idea and thought process, as he was walking out, he pulled the pin out of a few grenades and he held them close to his chest as he was walking. You don't see this. And the funny part is, he didn't do it when he fell. He did it as he was walking. So I guess some part of him knew he wasn't going to make it out. So as he turns Leon's body over, Leon literally puts the pins in Gary Oldman's hand and said, "This is for Matilda." Boom! And as a patron watching this, I was like, wow. Because you don't get your happy ending, but you get your happy ending. But it's both surmised in one point. One moment, you get your happy ending because the man who did this is taken out, but the man who took him out is taken out, who is now her surrogate father. And it's a bittersweet moment. And so many movies miss these little technical things that literally changes the flavor of the movie. Because when that happens, you're like, oh man, he's gone. Like, oh, that sucks. Like, I really wanted him to live. But he does live on in her. And he planned for this because when she realizes he doesn't make it out, she knows what happened. And he was kind of preparing for her for this to happen. So she goes and sees Danny Aiello's part, which is Leon's proxy, his benefactor. And he gives her money and says, come back periodically here and there, and I'll dole this out because Leon left this behind for you. So he's upset that he lost Leon as a client, but he also had a friendship with him because he had dealt with him so long. He understood him too. So he's upset and hates her because she got Leon taken out. And he knew it was going to happen. He couldn't stop it. He couldn't prevent it. So she wants to be a cleaner. And he's like, you're 12 years old. You're 13 years old or something like that. Like, I'm not going to do this. Like, he made me promise to give you a better life. And I'm not going to do to him what you did to him. Like, that would be signing you over to death. I'm not doing it. So he gives her money and he gives her a gun and says, here, if you want to go out there and do it, go ahead, do it. Just like Leon did. And she starts to cry and that's when Danny Aiello's character starts to break down too emotionally. So you realize it wasn't just a client. He had love for Leon as well. And the healing and pain and suffering is expressed through these two characters. So she goes to like an orphanage or like a boarding house, something that was set up for her where she could, I guess, stay until she's older. It's paid for. She has money. She has a stipend, but she doesn't have Leon. But the only thing Leon truly cared for, which I left out this entire movie for a reason, is his plant. He has a plant that every morning he opens the window, sets the plant out on the windowsill. He sprays it. He waters it. He listens to TV and music to it. He goes to a theater every once in a while and watch Gene Kelly and Singing in the Rain. Like he has though he's a professional cleaner, he has a piece to himself that he tries to always drown out, but keeps coming back to the surface. So he keeps telling her, I'm like this plant. My roots are not anywhere. I have to pick up and move anytime I need to go. Like this plant. So she ultimately gets his plant at the end, and she walks over to an area of the place she's staying, and she buries it and puts his roots into a foundation and says, now we both have foundation. So it's kind of like Leon is living on through the plant and her, and finally has balance and peace, which is, it's a bitter pill to swallow. And then it ends with Shape of My Heart, which is a beautiful song. Probably one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my entire life. And that's when the credits go up. And very rarely do I say a movie is damn near perfect. But The Professional is damn near a perfect movie. Like I said, you're going to have people who will pull and take away from this and that. The fact that she sees him... It's infatuation. She sees him as somebody she's falling in love with, though she's not really falling in love with him. Certain versions of the movie explore a little bit of that scene where she's dressed and provocative and trying to kiss him, and he shuns away and pulls away from her. Her infatuation is because he saved her life. And in most movies and situations, when somebody saves your life, you have a bond with them. It's not love. It's not falling in love. It's security and safety that you can have with that person, that you feel like you owe something to. Their relationship mainly is father and daughter for the entire length of the movie, besides that one part in the beginning where she's confused about how he feels about her and how she feels about him. That is where a lot of people dislike certain parts of this movie. I don't take away from it because I get it and I understand it. It's a very cerebral and well thought out thing in this movie as a premise, because she would feel that way towards him. This is the guy who saved her life. He's helping her. He's making her stronger. And to confuse that with love is very simple to do. But the fact that the movie explores that is actually more cerebral and psychological than anything. And I think that's where a lot of people are lost on this movie, is that one scene. But on the same token, you're looking at a broken man, a broken girl, and a broken relationship. And how do you find, build, and solidify a bond of trust, love, and admiration without confused feelings? On any aspect. You can't. Nurses fall in love with their patients sometimes in hospitals. Doctors fall in love with their patients that they're taking care of. It's a vulnerability aspect that makes you see somebody in a certain way. And a lot of movies do it. You just aren't cerebral enough to notice it when it happens. Hell, even American Werewolf in London. He ends up in a hospital. The nurse taking care of him finds him a little bit attractive. But the fact that she's helping him and taking care of him and she feels sorry for him, there's something about him that she's attracted to. The vulnerability. Exactly. To be vulnerable with somebody, truly vulnerable, and let down the facade of who you are, what you are, and how you live your life is a very hard thing to do. But once that curtain comes down, if somebody's willing to walk that distance and those miles with you, It's because there's true bond there. There's true love. There's something there that can't be unbroken very easily at all. In this movie, their relationship functions that way. And if they did not explore that aspect, it would be one-dimensional and it wouldn't be real. Remember, she's a child. He's an adult, but he doesn't think like she does, and she doesn't think like he does. He sees himself as cut off with no feelings, but the fact of the matter is, that's all he's searching for is emotionality and feeling. A reason. She thinks she has no reasons, no ability. There's no need for her to be here because everything she loved, she lost. And then, like sunshine, Leon dries up that rain. And she looks to him as that sunshine, that warmth, that compassion, that I can go on beyond this moment. And that's where that foundation is explored throughout the movie. And I'm glad that they do. There's some very cerebral moments in this movie where he's teaching her on a rooftop with a guy jogging, somebody in a car. He literally is not just taking time to fulfill a need in her. He's looking to pour himself into another human being so that she can see on the same level that he can see. He's looking for a counterpart, and he finds it in a little girl. But because of her life circumstances, she's not a little girl mentally. And that is where the two bond, because mentally they're on the same place. I know. Pretty deep shit, right? Yeah, I know. So the movie is called The Professional. I don't know if you've seen it. Leon, it's called Over the Pond, overseas. This movie, to me, has always been a perfect triple platinum movie. I can watch it anytime and every time from beginning to end. Never lift up my cell phone, never need to. I love the little moments of levity where they have happiness between them, because it's not just her out for revenge and him helping her. There comes to a certain point where they both find joy in each other. And the movie explores that in spades, and I'm glad that they do, because it makes it a better movie for it. And doing this movie any kind of justice, speaking about it, is really hard to do, because it's a great movie, an absolutely phenomenal great movie. I love the way it's shot. I love the cinematography. I love the actors. I love the actors' personalities. I love the contrast back and forth. I love how some people contract so that some people can protrude, and some people protrude so some people can contract. I love the abilities. I love the small, minute, just little things that they put in this movie that maybe the first time you don't see, but maybe the second or third time you pick up on. You'd be like, oh, that's subtle, but I get it. I like it. Even Gary Oldman's part, where you need this level of threat, because at first you don't see Gary Oldman as a capable threat to a man like Leon, who does this for a living. But as you go through the dirty deeds of what he does, you see him as this major threat that needs to be put down. And only one person can do it, Leon. And there's a bathroom scene, which is amazing, because Leon, the delivery boy, finds a way into the police headquarters. And it's genius the way how he gets in. It's genius what he does. It's genius how he actually hits these guys head on where they live. There's no coming back from that. There's no coming back for that. So there's no surprise that I give it here on my game channel, my TV channel, my movie channel, 24K Movies, a triple platinum rating. I love this movie. Like it, buy it. If you can download it. If you can see it on stream, which I do not know if it's streaming on any network. It's a rather older movie. But if you do get the occasion to watch it, both either the French version or the version over in UK or the one in America, I would say watch it. You owe it to yourself. It's something you're going to enjoy, and it'll stick with you for a very long time. The musical score, the atmosphere, the locations, absolutely brilliant. Everything in this movie is a character, from the smallest plant to even the background diner restaurant. Everything in this movie.
This movie is streaming, by the way. Unfortunately, if you want to see it, your people are gonna have to pay for it. It's on YouTube, Amazon Prime Video, Google Play Movies and TV, Apple TV, and Fandango at home.
Okay, so it is streaming, but like most things, you're gonna have to pay for it. Unless you know when you know that you know on the go how to download. Anyways, like I said, everything in this movie is a character, and this is definitely one of my favorite celebrated pieces. Leon the Professional. Did you watch it? Hope you watch it. Don't know if you watch it, but you definitely should watch it. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining me for another spirited review here in the Game Dojo. Unfortunately, like I said, I hate the fact that I have to dedicate this to another lost actor, but it seems to be something that's all too familiar nowadays. So many great actors and actresses we've said goodbye to over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It just seems like every other day, somebody I grew up watching, somebody who inspired my life, somebody who I watched on TV or heard on the radio or listened to passes away. And that really sucks. But unfortunately, fortunately, I'm able to shed some kind of light on their life after they're gone to you guys.
Unfortunately, we have their bodies of art to live on by.
True. That's the nightmare creature, by the way. Made me lose my thought.
Sorry.
Damn it. Killed my brain. Damn it. I'll digress from that. Sorry, she ninja'd my brain. But I will say we've lost a lot of people, and I'm glad that we have the ability to celebrate them and give them a send-off our way and their body of work. Sorry for all the people we've lost. It's just something we all share, and it should unite us as one people, yet it always tears us apart. There are many ways we are different, but our commonality is all but subtle. We're all human beings. We're all part of a human race. There is only one race, human, and we're all part of it. No matter what flavor, what color, what nationality, what sexuality, what we identify as, we're all humans. And until we have a commonality to see ourselves as one race, human race, society is only going to be a reflection of our biases, prejudices, and our hate. And it's not something that you're born with, it's something that you're taught. So, sorry to give you like a Oprah moment or a Montel Williams ending or a Jerry Springer ending. Till next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Anyway, from the Game Dojo, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time here from 24K. Rest in peace, Peter Kwong. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm glad. See? Got back onto it. Pop back in just before I ended. The movies that I saw him in that I loved the most. The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy. Phenomenal film. I should review it. I probably will review it. Big Trouble in Little China, which I did review on my channel. You can scroll back a few videos and check it out. It's one of my favorite movies. And then Prince of Darkness, which I haven't done. I don't think I've done on this channel. It is a John Carpenter masterpiece that it creeped me out and gave me nightmares for years. Even to this day, it's still pretty creepy to watch. But John Carpenter just has that ability sometimes. So anyway, check out Prince of Darkness, John Carpenter. Check out The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy, which, believe it or not, it's comedy, but it's more drama. And almost the same people from Big Trouble in Little China is in it too. But I think it showcases one of Eddie Murphy's brilliant dramatic acting experiences. It's something you definitely need to see a few times to understand. Charlotte Lewis also being part of it. And Big Trouble in Little China. One of my favorite movies of all times. And now you know another movie, Leon the Professional. Till next time, watch them TV shows, watch them movies. Listen to the radio. Live, people. We're all gonna die. Not everybody truly lives. Check you guys out later.